U.S. stocks rose more than 10% on Tuesday, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average achieving its second biggest point gain ever in history. The Dow jumped nearly 900 points, or 10.88%, to just over 9,065 points, whereas the S&P 500 shot up at 10.79% to close at over 940. The surge came as investors scooped up beaten down shares, buoyed by their belief that the Federal Reserve and other central banks will cut interest rates further. The Fed is expected to cut lending rates at two-day policy meeting, which ends on Wednesday. It's also expected to signal a willingness to lower borrowing costs again if needed, especially with inflation pressures fading fast. Many investors also believe the Bank of Japan will make a similar move to cut interest rates. Meanwhile, most stock markets in Asia rebounded on Tuesday following several days of steep declines. And in Japan, the government says it will tighten regulations on short selling practices to help calm domestic stock markets, which plummeted to a 26-year low on Monday. Laurie Liu has the latest.
The Shanghai Composite Index rose just under 3%, as did the Shenzhen Component Index. Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index surged nearly 14% in afternoon trading, a day after plunging more than 12%. Tokyo stocks remained volatile and closed sharply higher Tuesday. Japan's Nikkei average ended trading up almost 6.5% to 7,622 points after earlier falling below 7,000 points to fresh 26-year lows. Analysts say market sentiment was buoyed by an announcement earlier in the day that Japan will start banning a type of stock short selling. The Japanese finance minister announced the regulations would take effect Tuesday, a week ahead of schedule.
We will immediately, starting today, begin an investigation into any infringing short-selling practices. These measures mean that Japan will not be left out now. I think we made our decision based on the belief that this is important not only for Japan, but for other countries too.
South Korea's Kospi also recovered after falling earlier, jumping just over 5.5%. Analysts say the buying was driven by domestic investors following the biggest rate cut ever by the central bank on Monday. But investors at the Philippine Stock Exchange are getting more worried as the index fell nearly 9.5 points, and Australian shares closed down 0.4%. Laurie Liu, CCTV.